Howdy everybody. This video is going to be the last video and finishing up everything that we've learned in the previous videos of this series. But there will be more to come later. I plan on working on the base plate in future videos. But today we're going to work on patterning all of these, what is it called again? Our stacking base that we created a loft for. And to do that, we're going to need to pattern our stacking base, our magnet holes, and our screw holes all at the same time. So that's going to introduce us to this little tool up here, all of our transforming tools, we'll call them. So we have our mirrored tool, our linear pattern, polar pattern, and multi-transform. In this case, I'm wanting to create a linear pattern on two different axes. So I'm going to use a multi-transform. And here in this dialog, you can select to transform the whole body, which I don't want to do in this instance, because that's going to transform, as the name implies, the entire body. But in this case, all I want to transform are a few features. So I'm going to say transform tool shapes. And I'm going to add my stacking base, my magnet holes, and my screw holes. And as it shows right here, I need to add my transformations by right-clicking. So I can either edit an existing, delete, or add any of the transformations that I went over right here in this transformation bar. Here, I'm going to add a linear pattern, and I want to sketch it along the base x-axis. I want it to be an offset, which is going to let me give the offset pitch. And as you can probably guess, I'm going to be referencing my global variables. I'm going to be referencing the pitch of 42 millimeters. And I would like to constrain the number of occurrences to a variable as well. And because I've referenced my base x-axis, I'm going to reference x units for my number of occurrences, which is 1 right now, but it can be updated pretty easily later. And I don't want to close out of this tool just yet either, because I want to add another linear pattern for my y-axis. And again, I want it to be offset, and I want it to be pitch again. Pitch with a P of 42 millimeters. And the default value for this number of occurrences is 2. You can sort of see this shadow red box here of what we're going to be patterning. But as I constrain this properly to be referencing the variable of y units, it's going to go back to 1, and that will update to go away. So now that I have these transformations referenced, I can click OK. And I've gone ahead and renamed this subtractive loft. Well, actually, I need to rename this subtractive loft stacking lip, because the subtractive loft is based on this stacking lip design drawing right there. And in this instance, I'm also going to rename the linear pattern to, I'm just going to call it y units. This is our x units here. And I think I'm going to call this box footprint, multi-transform. Okay, so I have everything named. I'm going to resize this. And I'm going to scroll all the way down here to my variables. And I'm going to just give y units an arbitrary value of 3. And my y units have updated in this direction. I'm going to flip this box around to show what all has been patterned. So everything that I selected, that full loft, our magnet hole here, and our screw hole there. So I'm going to do this again in the X direction just to see that my tool is working. I'm given an arbitrary value of 5. And looks like it updated again. And it seems that I can keep playing around with different variable values this whole time. But keep in mind, the more that you pattern, the more that it's going to take FreeCAD the more processing power it's going to take FreeCAD to render this. So it could take it slightly longer to update. For instance, a 7x7. Yeah, spinning wheel. Another thing that you're going to want to keep in mind is if you have a 3D printer like me, which I'm assuming that's one of the reasons you've come to this channel, is you have to be careful of what's the maximum size that your 3D printer can print. And in my case, with a Bambu Labs P1S, the max, I haven't played around with it that much, the max that I can print is a 5x5 grid square. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series and I hope you've learned something. Please like and subscribe for more because there's more coming. Thank you.